Level 1. You are so broke that your bank account has a negative sign like it's trying to do math homework you didn't study for. Your diet is whatever was on sale, your phone screen looks like it survived a war, and your idea of a luxury is buying the name brand instant noodles. You've mastered the art of texting "I'm busy" whenever friends suggest going out, because going out costs money, and money is something that happens to other people. The electricity got cut off once, and you told everyone it was a planned outage with the confidence of a man who had no other options. You sleep on the couch in a 4-person apartment, and somehow, you're still the one paying the most rent. A $200 unexpected bill hits you like a personal attack from the universe. You've borrowed money from someone and then avoided them for 3 weeks like you witnessed a crime. You know which supermarket marks down bread at 6 p.m. on Thursdays, and you are there. But here's the truth, every single person who built real wealth has a level 1 chapter, and the ones who remember it are the ones who never go back. Level 2. You have a job now, which means you are officially surviving, which is the bare minimum of human existence, but still deserves a small round of applause. Your paycheck hits, and for exactly 48 hours, you feel like a millionaire, and then rent, phone bill, transport, and 3 subscriptions you forgot about. Consume it like a financial piranha. You've done the math at the grocery store and quietly put something back on the shelf and pretended you just changed your mind. Going on a date is a budget calculation disguised as romance. You check the menu prices online before agreeing to any restaurant. The emergency fund doesn't exist because you are the emergency. You get paid, feel rich, buy something slightly too expensive, regret it by Wednesday, and repeat the cycle every single month like a financial Groundhog Day. Vacation means a day off at home, maybe ordering delivery food, and calling it a staycation with zero irony. You've said, "I'll sort my finances out next month," for so many months that next month has become a mythological concept. Dating is brutal at this level because every romantic gesture comes with a silent invoice in your head. But level 2 teaches you something no rich kid ever learns: the real value of a dollar, and that lesson is worth more than the dollar itself. Level 3. You got a raise and immediately your apartment got nicer, your car got bigger, your restaurant orders got fancier, and somehow you are still completely broke at the end of every month because lifestyle creep is a silent assassin in expensive shoes. You have all the appearances of success: nice clothes, decent apartment, a car that unlocks with a button, and a bank account that would make a level 1 version of you cry. You've started saying, "I'll sort my finances out," with the energy of someone who genuinely believes they will, which is adorable. Your subscriptions now include 4 streaming services, a gym you visit spiritually rather than physically, and a meal kit you use once a month to feel like a functional adult. You bought things to feel better about your financial situation, which is so ironic it deserves its own TED Talk. Credit card minimum payments have become a monthly ritual you perform without thinking, like brushing your teeth but more expensive. The trap is that level 3 feels like success because it's better than before, and feeling successful is the enemy of actually becoming successful. Income is not wealth. Cash flow is not assets. The exit is simple: spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and stop upgrading your life every time your income goes up by $50. Level 4. Something finally clicked. Maybe a book, maybe a 2 a.m. YouTube rabbit hole about compound interest, maybe just the quiet horror of realizing you're 30 and have nothing to show for it. You made a real budget and confronted your spending habits with the energy of a detective investigating a crime scene, except you are both the detective and the criminal. You cut the subscriptions, not all of them, but the ones you completely forgot existed and were silently bleeding you out every month. An emergency fund now exists and has real money in it, and you feel irrationally proud of it, like you just won an Olympic medal for basic adulting. You opened an investment account and put modest money in every month, even when the returns look like a flat line and nothing feels like it's happening. You stopped trying to keep up with people spending money. They don't have to impress people they don't like, and that decision alone saved you thousands. Debt is being paid down strategically instead of just panicked at. The psychological shift at level 4 is the most important thing on this entire list. You stopped being a passenger in your financial life and took the wheel. Level 4 done consistently for a decade quietly turns into level 7, and that is not a coincidence. Level 5. Mortgage paid on time, 2 practical cars, kids in a decent school, annual vacation somewhere with a pool, and a backyard with a grill that gets used every summer like a sacred ritual. Life is genuinely comfortable, and statistically, this is where most people in developed countries actually land, which means if you think you're a 7, you're probably a 5, and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. Studies show happiness peaks around solid middle-class income. Beyond a certain point, more money stops buying more joy. You're not anxious about money, but you're aware of it. Big unexpected expenses still sting. College funds are a looming conversation nobody wants to start. The social circle at level 5 is honest and real because you're not rich enough to attract people who want something from you. You can help family members occasionally without destroying yourself, which is one of the most underrated feelings in the world. The level 5 couple who stayed together 40 years, raised their kids, bought their home, and retired modestly won something that most people chasing higher levels never find. That is not a consolation prize. That might actually be the whole game. Level 5 is not where ambition goes to die, it's where a lot of genuine human happiness actually lives. Level 6. Your phone buzzes and it's a dividend notification instead of a bill reminder, and that single moment changes how you see the entire world. You have investments generating passive income not enough to retire, but enough that you could miss a paycheck and not spiral into existential crisis. You flew business class once, and now you fundamentally understand why people pay for it, and you will never fully go back. You no longer look at the right side of the menu before ordering, which sounds like a small thing, but is actually one of the most liberating experiences a human being can have. Work feels different when you don't desperately need the money. You make better decisions. You push back more. You take smarter risks because you have a cushion to land on. The financial anxiety that was your background noise for years has gone quiet, and the silence is incredible. People ask you for financial advice now, and you give it, and it's actually good advice, which is a strange and powerful feeling. The danger at level 6 is overconfidence. You feel rich enough to make dumb decisions, trust the wrong people, and invest in things you don't understand because the returns sound exciting. Level 6 people have lost everything by confusing comfort with expertise, so stay humble. Keep the boring investments boring, and remember that getting here was hard enough. The goal at 6 is to turn it into 7, and 7 is where life genuinely changes. Level 7. You wake up, check your phone, and the number went up while you slept, and that sentence represents a complete transformation of your relationship with money and time. Your money is now generating money stocks, real estate, a business that runs without you babysitting it, and the fundamental equation of your life has flipped. You have a financial advisor you actually understand, which puts you ahead of most people at this level who just nod politely while their advisor talks. Travel is spontaneous. The words, "can we afford this?" have mostly left your vocabulary, and you have an assistant or at minimum a very good accountant and lawyer who costs money but saves you more. Work has become optional in the sense that you could stop and be fine, but you don't stop because it turns out that people who build things like building things. The identity shift at 7 is significant. You start thinking about legacy, impact, what you actually want from the decades you have left, because money was the obstacle, and the obstacle is mostly gone now. Level 7, people often rediscover things that got crowded out by financial survival, creativity, health, relationships, purpose. You give more generously now, not for show, but because you finally can, and it feels better than any purchase ever did. Old friends who knew you at level 2 look at you differently, and navigating that is genuinely complicated. You haven't arrived, nobody arrives, but you've bought the most valuable thing money can actually purchase, which is time. Level 8, your decisions now affect other people. They create jobs, move small markets, and shape outcomes for families beyond your own, which is a weight that takes time to get used to. You have staff, a real accountant, an estate lawyer, a personal assistant, possibly security, and the logistics of your life require actual management. Doors open differently at level 8. The restaurant always has a table, the meeting always gets scheduled, the phone call always gets returned. Your children will not start from zero the way you did, and that is both the greatest gift and the most complicated responsibility you have ever held. Raising kids who are not entitled, useless, and completely disconnected from reality. When born into level 8, money is one of the hardest parenting challenges that exists, and most people at this level fail at it at least once. Old friendships become complicated because money changes the dynamic even when nobody wants it to, and pretending otherwise is naive. New relationships come with a permanent question mark: who is here for you, and who is here for what you represent? You've been taken advantage of financially at least once, and it taught you something expensive about trust and human nature. Philanthropy becomes a serious question you engage with, not as a tax strategy, but as a genuine reckoning with what you owe the world that gave you the conditions to build this. The people who handle level 8 best are the ones who still remember exactly what level 1 felt like and actively refuse to forget it. Level 9. You don't think about money the way normal humans do. You think about capital allocation, macro trends, and what your family office is doing across multiple asset classes in multiple countries simultaneously. A bad week in the market costs more than most people earn in a lifetime, and you've had to train yourself to be emotionally unbothered by that. Or the alternative is a breakdown every quarter. You fly private, have people whose full-time job is managing your money, and security is a genuine consideration because visibility at this level comes with real risk. Your phone calls can move things, deals, decisions, conversations at levels of power that most people never get anywhere near, and that is both thrilling and quietly terrifying. You've donated more to causes you believe in than most people will earn across their entire working lives, and you've discovered that giving at scale is its own complicated art form. The loneliness at level 9 is a different species. Almost every interaction has a layer of performance or agenda, and genuine friendship becomes extraordinarily rare and extraordinarily precious. Your children's lives are so different from any life you ever lived that the emotional gap between you is sometimes hard to bridge. You've been publicly criticized, misquoted, protested, and envied, and you've developed a thick skin that took real damage to build. The challenge at 9 is meaning when all material problems are solved for generations, what actually gets you out of bed in the morning? The people who thrive at 9 found the answer to that question before they arrived here. Level 10. Some people say it doesn't exist. Those people haven't studied history carefully enough. Level 10 is not just extreme wealth, it's wealth combined with impact so significant that it reshapes industries, rewrites what's possible, and puts a dent in the actual direction of civilization. At level 10, your name gets attached to things that outlive you: institutions, technologies, movements, ideas that keep running long after you're gone. The people who reach level 10 were almost never the ones who set out to be the richest person in the room. They were the ones most obsessed with a problem, a vision, a change they needed to see in the world. And the wealth was a byproduct of that obsession executed at scale. Every level 10 story has a level 1 chapter: the kid who got bullied, the family that had nothing, the person told they were too strange or too unrealistic or too obsessed. Level 10 is not a destination you plan for in a spreadsheet. It is the compound interest of daily decisions made over decades by someone who refused to accept the ceiling other people tried to put on their life. The word no becomes a starting point rather than an ending. And here is what all 10 levels together actually prove: the level you are at right now is not permanent. It is a starting point, a chapter, a data point. God gave everyone different cards. Some start with a full hand and waste it. Some start with nothing and build everything. The only thing that decides which story you end up living is whether you keep playing or whether you put the cards down and decide the game is already over.